Hey guys, how y'all doing? I'm here to give you guys a recap on the new episode of Shokugeki no Souma, San no Sara, Food Wars, the third plate, or Shokugeki no Soma, third season, and episode 8. This episode right here was just freaking phenomenal, and I mean really, really good. And the way how it was done, and with its pictures, to its coloring, to its music, it was just freaking phenomenal. So if anything else, let's just get this started, alright? Alright. We have to it that the Polar Star Dormitory is about to be evicted right now and about to be damaged. And we have to it that Yukihiro's friends or the Polar Star dorm residents was not going to let that happen. As Eizan is like being a manipulating piece of honestly. We have to it that everybody can only is really concerned about Yukihiro right now because of Eizan Senpai's manipulating plans. We have to it that Soma asked, hey, if I win this match, the Polar Star Dormitory eviction would be canceled, right? And they go like, yeah. He goes like, fine with me. I'm just gonna focus on my cooking. And Eizan was just pissed off because like he's surprised to see Soma's not even like phased by this. Of course, they asked Yukihiro, what dish are you gonna make? He goes like, I'm gonna make gyoza. And the judges who are Eizan's judges who are bought out by him, they go like, oh wow, this is just gonna be ridiculous. Although Rindo is concerned about it, we have to it that Eizan was about to call Rindo, but Rindo was about to really beat him if he didn't say senpai, and then he said senpai. I'm thinking in my mind, yeah, that's right, you are nothing more than her little B, because you have to make sure you say senpai, you little crackalack. Aside from that, Yukihiro continues his cooking here and there, while Eizan Senpai was given a freaking call that the eviction is actually taking longer than they thought because they're fighting back way harder than anyone else. And we have to it that the Polar Star dormitory members are not going to let them destroy it, while Fumio decides to provide them with the rifle equipment of war to push them back. And while Yukihiro could focus on his cooking and not be worried about anything else, we have to it that Eizan gets really mad and says, why the hell are you guys so damn stubborn? And we see to it that Yukihiro's like, look, if you really like to manipulate things and if you want to say something to me, talk with your cooking instead of running your mouth all the time, okay? And we have to it that Eizan goes like, you know what? Okay, fine. In order for me to kick your butt and break your spirit, I'm just going to have to cook hard and show you what the difference in our power is. And we see to it that Eizan decides his dish already. And we see to it that he's dipping a whole chicken into a boiler, I believe, in boiling water. And he's going to leave it untouched for about an hour while he explains it'll take advantage of the residue heat very slowly into the chicken, and it provides the softness and the chicken softness, and it's a Satsuna chicken. And we see to it that it'll create a exquisite tender mouthfeel once you eat it. And we have to it that Nikumi-chan explains that his doneness onto a test of using the whole bird is actually pretty interesting. But while cooking the chicken as well, he's sauteing the skin and slowly rendering the fat, and using it to garlic, ginger, and raw rice whatsoever. And Soma, on the other hand, says, huh. Surprising. Soma has a dull face like, huh. I thought all this time that you can actually cook, and you're actually showing it right now. Even Eizan gets so mad at Yukihiro because he really he believes he's being undermined right now. But we also see to it that Rindo explains to Soma that I would not undermine him very much. I mean, if it wasn't for him, holding back or maybe not too concerned about a couple things, he could actually, the current Elite 10 would have lost their seats to him because of how he's doing things. And we get to know a little backstory why he entered the academy. He said he just wants to make money. And we see to it that he actually made way more money than the Totsuki Academy within at least a year, combined with everything else. Not to mention with the leverage of, the financial aid he has, along with everything else, he ends up grabbing very powerful perfectionist ingredients and and got things what he needs, and then later on he was just admitted to the Elite 10's ranks unanimously. And because of that, we have to it that because his financial helpings and everything else, and including with his money helpings, etc., he was given the title of the Alchemist. And we see to it that he continues to cook, and as we see Eizan Senpai cooking, we have to it that we see that people are saying that he's using raw jasmine rice and broth all coming together, and then it can actually make full use of the chicken's refined umami. And we have to it that Eizan is really like telling Yukihiro that he has no chance of winning and he has no game plan. Also, he insults Yukihiro by saying you should regret and leave Totsuki. And Yukihiro says, yeah, I never had a strategy to begin with, but I didn't come here to challenge you unless I had a chance of winning, And therefore, Yukihiro decides to get serious and puts on his bandana, and then starts cooking with everything he's got. We had to it that the gyoza he's using is different, and he's not using wheat-based wrapper. Instead, he's using the wings as a wrapper. Like the chicken, instead of being wrapped around into a dumpling or gyoza, whatever you want to call it, he's using the chicken itself as filling as the wrapper, as he removed the bones, etc., and stuffed it with some filling. And it's like Satsuma chicken with wing gyoza. And we have to it that Rindo is actually excited about this, and we have to it that Yukihiro explains that the stuffing consists of ground pork, garlic chives, cabbage, and shiitake mushrooms, and of course there are, something called coarsely minced fatty pork whatsoever. Eventually, Rindo says, hurry, I want to have a bite, hurry. And we have to it that someone's like, okay, I made some extra, so it's alright. One of Eizan's judges tells Yukihiro off, you don't need to cook any for us because we already know what this is going to be. And we had to it that Soma asked, who are these judges? When he asked Rindo. Rindo explains that they're well connected with Central, etc. But yeah. We had to it that, Soma tells them to maybe think twice about what they say, because sometimes, it's not a really good idea how things you should run or something. We have to it that Rindo, on the other hand, tells him that her philosophy is to taste first and think later. And we have to it that one of the judges say that Soma's use of fatty pork is really stupid, and they find that it's going to destroy the delicacy of the flavors of the Satsuma chicken, and it's ridiculous. We have to it that Eizan presents his dish, and it is called the Hanase chicken rice or something. We had to it that Soma got a bite of this too, and eventually they were all blown away. One of them says it's a delicate, overwhelming umami, and the tenderness is perfectly cooked, and the flavors are actually exquisite and lingering. And we had to it that Eizan prepared 3 different sauces, which is chili sauce, ginger sauce, and siu dam or something related to Thai cooking. And we see to it that Soma realizes that this is all paired very well, and it actually does a good job on it. We have to it that the Aldini brothers, of course, Takumi Aldini and his brother, realizes that how the taste in the cooking is, along with how he elevated those flavors and texture, etc., to greater heights. That is indeed his alchemy flavor. We have to it that Rindo decides to take a bite of the dish out of the judges, and she actually finds it pretty good. And I go like, oh my gosh, dude, she's just like hot smoking. And we had to that one of the judges told that Yukihiro Soma's dish is actually fall short, but Soma's like, I have one final step to complete my gyoza. And we have to it that Eizan says, your freaking tricks are second rate. Just get the hell out of here, okay? What a waste of my time. Proceed with the votes already. And we have to it that Yukihiro says, hey, you shouldn't be like that and leave. What's the harm of trying my dish at least? Or are you just scared? Yukihiro was shooting bullets at Eizan, saying, oh, what's the matter? Are you scared? Are you scared? Huh? That by my cooking? Huh? And we had to... This made me laugh so hard, okay? Eizan's face was just like, what'd you say to me with that kind of face? If you guys watch the episode, you will know what I'm talking about. My face is freaking red right now because just looking at that image and thinking about it in my head, it's just... Just just hilarious. I'm so sorry if this recap becomes so long. I just can't help it, okay? I'm sorry. It's really hard to keep myself in control. So, if anything else, like, Eizan goes like, what the hell did you just say to me? I ain't scared. And Yukihiro's like, huh, if you're not scared, then you would try it, right? It would be pretty lame if you just go on home without trying my dish, right? And then we have to it that Eizan goes like, you know what? I'll taste your dish, etc. Just to let you know, this is your last time that you ever insult me. And we have to it that Yukihiro adds his final touches to his gyoza, of course. And of course, Nikumi, who's watching from the TV, says she's really concerned about how Yukihiro's going to handle this. They all been bought out by Eizan. Of course, Eizan therefore declares to Yukihiro, fine, show me what you got, but this is the end of the line for you. You hear me? And we have to it that he said that this will be Yukihiro's last time cooking here. But apparently he looks at the chicken that Soma's using right now, and it's actually dipped in the chicken stock broth beforehand. And he's wondering like what are those two containers are. And we see to it that that Yukihiro adds in the moisture, and then he ends up using Parmesan cheese. And Takumi Aldini realizes that Yukihiro is making winged gyoza, which is like typically made using flour thinned with water, and he ends up using Parmesan cheese. Of course, the judges just like say that Yukihiro's dish is still B-graded and pathetic, and sees to it that it would be damaging enough, and then you're just adding other flavors to be unnecessary. This is just a waste of time after all. And we have to it that the judges go like, okay, time to make the call, but Yukihiro's like, shh, and then deep, 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 and Yukihiro opens up the lid that he covers, opens up the lid that he used to cover his gyoza, and adds some kind of thick sauce, arrowroot starch to the chicken broth, and adds the final touch. And we have to it that he drizzled all over had it drizzled all over the gyoza and has it all finished. And Yukihiro says, come on, dig in. And we have to it that Eizan insults his dish and says, you just threw that thing in the last minute. I'll be seeing this that you're not needed in Totsuki now. The moment he took a bite, he did not move at all. And I just saw his face. I laughed so hard. He was like, I can't make the face, but all I know is it was like, I laughed so hard when I saw his face when he took a bite out of Yukihiro's gyoza. And we have to that Yukihiro mocks him and saying, huh? Don't tell me what's wrong, Eizan-senpai. Are you saying my dish is good? At least say that, alright? And we have to it that the judges go like, yeah, right, I don't believe it. And we have to it that Yukihiro's like, if you're gonna be harsh on me, I want you to try my dish, okay? Like, Yukihiro was calling out to the judges by saying, you wanna make critiques, you wanna say it's garbage, you have to try it first and stop being a total nut job breakers yourself, okay? Have a bite. And we had to it that Eizan did not say anything, but the looks on his face but the look on his red face earlier in this episode and how things are, this is how things are going to be done. We had to it that one of the judges wanted to make a vote already for Eizan, but we have to it that one of the judges stopped him and says, look, I understand that we already know how this is going to end, but let me take a bite of this, okay? It's already decided, so one of the judges go, fine, but I'm not eating it. So they end up, two of the judges of Eizan's subordinates, if you want to call them, tries it, and they both realize that they've been blown away right now, and Yukihiro Soma actually made some for Rindo, which is pretty cute, and the moment she ate it, oh my gosh, she was blown away way further into like moaning ecstasy. And we had to it that they were really confused to see how Yukihiro actually did all this, and they asked him like how'd you enhance this whole thing? And we had to it that Yukihiro explains in the sauce that he used that he added soy sauce, sake, vinegar, sugar, sesame oil, and the secret ingredient to the chicken broth. And they go like, what is that secret ingredient? And it's ketchup. We have to it that Yukihiro explained that he made a special sweet sour sauce with ketchup as the secret ingredient. And we have to it that Nikumi combines this all together and realizes that the sweet sour sauce used in the dishes like sweet, sour, and pork and crab omelet rice. Like, in other words, Nikumi says that what Yukihiro used is actually used on a crab omelet rice from sweet and sour pork. And we have to it that it gives out the oilness of the Chinese cuisine, and by adding acidity from the ketchup, it allowed him to highlight the juiciness and richness of the fatty pork and Parmesan cheese, along with the great aftertaste of the chicken. That's what the Aldini brothers said. And one of Takumi Aldini's brothers says, basically, tomatoes are full of bombs of glutamic acid, and it pairs well with Parmesan cheese. Along with the synergy of the umami opponents in the chicken and shiitake mushrooms, he actually did a good job. And we had to it that one of the judges go like, wow, for a B-grade gourmet dish, somehow you managed to make this work in a certain way. I can't even imagine how you just take one bite and it has a good combination of flavors. And how could you conceive such a thing? And we have to it that Yukihiro explains, well, if you really need to know, the idea to add tomatoes like this comes from the Polar Star dormitory I was at. And we had to it that Hisako swore to protect Erina while she is also there too to protect the dorm. And Erina explains to Hisako that her experience at the dorm of like tasting other people's dishes is actually really strange. When she actually retried Yuki's dish, I think Yuki's dish, if I remember correctly. I hope I got her name right because there's a lot of Yoshino Yuki, Yoshino-chan, if anything. She ends up explaining like how Yoshino-chan's dish was actually horrible the last time, as this is a flashback. This is a flashback with Erina trying Yoshino-chan's dish and was really upset that she did not follow her order. But when she tried it the second time around, when Yoshino gave it to her, she realizes that it's still rough, but it ends up having strong flavors head to head, and it enhanced greatly. We had two of the Soma, Megumi, and I forgot the other guy's name. Talks about how to make it better, and we have to it that Erina tries to butt in with the conversation and tries to add some flavors, like subtract the flavors and adding more acidity. But we have to it that they all say, hey, let's go to the farm, because tomatoes will be the one thing how to make it work. And Erina was pretty upset that they're not even listening to him. This was a total flashback, by the way, as Erina explains to Hisako about her experience at the Polar Star dormitory. So, in other words, when Erina was talking to Hisako about her experience with the Polar Star dormitory, she reflects back when she tried Yoshino Yuki's dish the second time. It actually became very much better than what she tried to tell her to do a recommendation on. But Yoshino-chan did not do that recommendation that Erina told her to and tried something else. And that was a total flashback, etc., about her experience with the Polar Star dormitory members. And she ends up saying that, I've done a lot of test tasting many times, but anyone that I tried the dish on, I hardly have anyone disregarding my recommendations. But because my sense of taste is absolute and infallible. But when she says, like, when I'm here at the Polar Star dormitory, the chaotic clash of random ideas creates surprising solutions. And we have too that Erina explains to Hisako that overall, my experience at this dormitory, like their clash of ideas and how it's really chaotic, they make very, very surprising solutions in simple sentences. Just in case if you guys gotten really confused of what I was trying to say in this scene with Erina talking to Hisako. But aside from that, we have to it that Soma explains to one of the judges by saying, hey, you guys are from Central, right? Let me tell you something. I bet you must be thinking we're not worth anything on proper evaluation or anything. Am I correct? But you know what? This dish right here is a clash of our hanging balance and day-to-day lives, and this is the days that we spent using our cooking butting heads each other at the dorm, which you're trying to shut down. And he ends up asking the judge in the middle, which he became very antagonistic towards Soma, by saying, I want you to take a bite, and I'm going to crush your boring way of thinking, and that's the only way how to cook. You hear me? Try it. I'll blow away your fossilized brain, which he really told the judge off, and the judge ends up eating it anyway and gets blown away. And the judges made the decisions while Yukihira says, make up your minds and reconsider whose dish you think is really good. You hear me? And we had to it that the Polo Star Dormitory still held off the eviction long enough for the judges to make the right decision, and Yukihira won the match 3-0. As Eizan Senpai stares in great agonizing defeat, falling down and seeing Yukihira being on the top. And we see to it that after the credit scene, we get a post-credit scene where Yukihira asks, the Polo Star Dorm won't shut down, right? And we have to it that he goes into the camera and speaks to everyone live by saying, you guys hearing this? Hello? And he ends up saying, alright, I'm going to tell you right now. You make any funny moves on my friends or people I know, you're going to regret it, and I'm going to make you pay for what you did. We might be low suckers that... You may think that we may be low suckers and etc., but we're not going to be taking it lying down, or we're not going to back down without fighting you first. In other cases, he even explains to everyone who's with Central by saying, if you want to fight, I'll accept your challenge and come at you with everything I've got. Even if you send one of the Elite 10, pretty much. So pretty much, someone just gave a little, like, somewhat of a middle finger by telling them, you want to fight? Bring it on. I'll come at you with everything I got. Even if you send the Elite 10 at us, I'll still kick your butt. And we had to it that some of the Elite 10 members could only watch Soma's speech and realizing how much of a brave fellow he is. Even the first seat of the Elite 10, like, stares at the screen. And next episode is called Hunting the Survivors. This episode right here was just phenomenal. Fantastic, as I said from the beginning. I am very, very sorry that if my video became very long in terms of recapping and me just explaining so many scenes, because this match is where things changed everything. Like, Yukihira Soma changed the judges' minds by saying, perhaps you need to try the dish before you make any judgment and critiques, okay? I mean, he even explains to the judges, like, you see this dish I made right here? This is the result of me butting heads at my dorm every single day. And this is the result I have given you, and you're trying to shut down the dorm that I'm trying to master my cooking and skills at. So don't even think twice about how things are, you know? Etc. So what Yukihira Soma did is change how the match should be done. Instead of being it rigged, etc., it should be done fairly in the sense that you have to try the person's dish instead of being some kind of cheapskate manipulation like Eizan Senpai, which Yukihira just slapped Eizan across the face and said, don't even try this again, mate. Next time I won't be so lenient. So, yeah, this episode was just phenomenal. This episode was just great. I was happy. I was laughing so hard at Eizan's facial expressions because it was just hilarious. Looking forward to the next episode. So until then, I'll see you guys in my next video. So I'm out for Zero, people. Have a good day. I'll see you guys next time, alright? Peace out. Bye-bye. Hope you enjoyed the episode as much as I did.